managing your life smartly. Here's another interesting strategy. Can you be a preventionist and not an interventionist? Think about this. We can take actions that might make it more or less likely we'll end up in a situation that might give use to anxiety. So here are some tips. Think about this. Don't surround yourself with people who make you anxious. Do surround yourself with people who are calming. Here's another no-brainer strategy. Don't check social media or watch the news all day. Do stay informed. So can you create the boundaries for yourself? I know for me, the first week, I was literally sitting on my kitchen stool with the refrigerator there and the TV there, and I was all day long. The numbers, I was going nuts. And I had to just create rules for myself because otherwise I would just be in constant state of uncertainty and anger, which relates to this idea of having a routine, right? Can you create consistency in wake up time, in meals and exercise, work schedule, playtime, etc.? When we have too much time on our hands, our brains make up the stories. Think about it. If you're just sitting and not doing, your brain has the opportunity to make all these weird connections that are not going to be necessarily helpful for you. So my question is, what does your routine look like right now? Are you setting yourself up for success in this new normal at home? Are you creating a routine for wake up, for meals, for exercise, your work schedule, your playtime, whatever that looks like for you? Ask yourself right now, how can you create a better routine? How can you manage your life more smartly to support you over the next couple of weeks? Finally, even in these difficult times, we got to find ways to have fun. And I don't believe we give ourselves the permission to have fun. I don't think that we really understand how the brain works, believe it or not. We think that working all the time or problem solving, we're going to find the solution. As a professor here at Yale, my students are used to like being under pressure, right? They think they have to stay up till 4 o'clock in the morning to generate ideas. It doesn't work, right? When you give yourself the permission to take a walk, to just do something you enjoy, all of a sudden the idea comes. I can't tell you how I'm a yoga person. I'm oftentimes in a pose and I'm like, oh, wow, finally I get the idea. Of course, then I want to take that pad out and start writing, which is not very helpful, so I don't do it. But you get what I'm talking about here. That we got to give ourselves the permission to have freedom and space. So these are just a number of ideas, right? I'm not going to read them all out, but take a walk, try a new routine, have fun with it, sing while you're making your bed, right? Try a new recipe, write a gratitude letter to that person who's inspired you, who is your Uncle Marvin. Try a new recipe, watch a new show, read a new book, listen to a new podcast. The list goes on. We're going to send you dozens of ideas for what you can do in these times to have creativity in your downtime. So as we come to a close, what I'm going to ask you to do is take a moment and think about the strategies that we discussed today. Which ones resonate with you the most? Is it the mindful breathing? Is it more self-care? Is it getting better sleep? Is it eating healthier? Is it building in the time for exercise? Is it thinking about your relationships and what you might do to have healthier bonding and closer attachments and managing your home life? Is it more of the cognitive strategies? Is it having better routines? Is it just making time to do things you enjoy? Last weekend, we took a ride to the beach. I'm very fortunate. I live about 5 minutes from the ocean, although you never know it in New Haven, Connecticut. And we just watched the sunset. I was like, where am I? It was the most beautiful time just to give our family an opportunity to spend 10 minutes just watching the sunset amongst all the chaos. So here's what I need you to do before we close. I need you to make a commitment. Because I don't want to waste your time. I don't want to waste my time either. I need you to take something from today and commit to it. Which one of these areas do you want to try to enhance, improve upon? Because the truth is you owe it to yourself and you owe it to your loved ones. And if you're comfortable, I'm going to ask you to make your commitment or expose your commitment or make yourself accountable for your commitment. Maybe you can type it into our box right now. What are you committing to? Is it changing the story in your head? Is it pausing and breathing? More self-care, better relationships, doing things you enjoy? Please take a moment to jot down your strategy. As you're doing that, I love this picture. This is a boy in one of our classrooms who thought about his best self. And his best self was kind, hardworking, selfless, and determined. I was just blown away by that. A fourth grade boy. He saw his best self as kind, hardworking, selfless, and determined. So imagine you're this child, right? What strategy are you going to commit to be more selfless, to show your determination, show your hard work, and be kind and compassionate to yourself and others? A few things to bring our session to a close. One, give yourselves and others the permission to feel all emotions. I wrote a book this year called Permission to Feel, and it was really about this idea of allowing ourselves to just feel. We don't have to shift. Oftentimes people are trying to help us to regulate. Healthy regulation doesn't mean not feeling. It's about accepting all feelings and just using them wisely. It's okay to be sad. It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to be frustrated. Strive to become that emotion scientist and not an emotion judge. Remember, we're all in this together. And as we said in the beginning, physical distance does not mean psychological distance. Try to be an Uncle Marvin for someone. Appreciate that developing emotion regulation skills can be harder than learning traditional hard skills. It's life's work. I also want to say you've got to be open to apologizing. I've gotten really good at it this week. Forgiving and repairing, and also seeking the help if it's necessary. And lastly, what I want to say is please don't give up on yourselves when you're feeling this way. I know when we get overwhelmed with stress and anxiety, we feel it's going to be permanent, it's going to be forever. It's not. And it will be dealt with more effectively if you can try some of the strategies that I share with you today. So my last words to you for today are from one of my heroes, Viktor Frankl. Between stimulus and response, there is space. In that space is our power to choose our response. And in our response lies our growth and freedom. And on behalf of CASEL and the Center for Emotional Intelligence, I just want to express my gratitude to everyone who joined today. I wish you the best in this journey of healthy emotion regulation. And just for research and for articles and free papers, you can go to my website, our center website. That's my contact information, my assistant, Michelle. And now I'm going to turn it over to my amazing colleagues at CASEL to bring our session to a close. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mark. I don't know about the rest of you, but I certainly appreciated the calming force that Mark has, and really appreciate you sharing your insights and wisdom. We just wanted to close the session by letting you all know that we are curating resources from other partners and friends who have a lot to offer for parents, caregivers, educators, pretty much anybody that's working with children. If you go to the website, you can find those resources there. We will be updating them regularly, so check back. And if there are specific things that you're looking for, do let us know.